Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your November reading. Great to see everyone again. Just a reminder that you can use these monthly readings for your sun, your rising, and also for your moon sign. Now, November is probably one of my favorite months to look at. I've been talking about that on each of the readings this month. I like it because it's an opportunity month where you can basically start to plant potential seeds that will grow into fruition in the following year. And it's also your last chance to really do some productive things before the year comes to a close. So as I look at the cards today, I want to see what's available, what potential energy, what potential opportunities are at your disposal this month. But as we get into your channeled information, what's really coming through is that you're going to have to pay close attention to details. And for some of you, this could actually pose a bit of a problem because you have so much on your plate. And this month is going to be really important for you to keep in mind what's top priority and pay very close attention to paperwork, details, and although sometimes I will advise you to delegate, this probably is not a month for delegation. You want to keep things close to you, keep an eye on things that, especially anything that your name or your overall brand is going to be associated with if you're a business. Just very important to be mindful of contracts, obligations, details. And if you are balancing a lot of things, yes, you can ask for help, but you have to be the deciding person when it comes to approvals, signatures, and final decisions. So pay attention to details, balance things the best that you can, and realize that for you, details are everything. So I guess the next piece that I would go to on this is, if there's something that you have committed to, this isn't a month to back down off of that. So really do everything that you can to fulfill obligations, to make sure all small details have been met, and to be part of a decision-making process whenever it's necessary. All right, now let's take a look at the cards and see what additional information wants to present itself. And we'll also begin with a catalyst card for insight on how everything's tied together. So we have Princess of Swords, which is really speaking to your ability to convey messages, to communicate effectively. The clarity of your thoughts are going to be very important here. So what I want you to focus on over the course of this month is during your meditation, or if you have a vision board or do any sort of visualization on how to achieve your goals, I really want you to be able to see things in clear detail, how you want that final outcome to be. Sometimes this can just be really far out in the future. Say you're at the beginning of, breaking ground on some sort of construction, or if you're creating some work of art and you're just starting to sculpt it or write it or whatever it is that you're creating. You want to already see in your mind as you're meditating how good it's going to be to share this with the world, how they're going to receive it. If it's something architectural, how people are going to experience it. I want you to feel and see in a very clear way how this has already happened, and what you're doing right now is just waiting to catch up to it. Because the more you believe, see, feel, and understand its execution or its ultimate execution, the easier it's going to be for you to get people excited about it, for them to believe that you believe that it's happening, and ultimately for you to complete it much faster. So this month is about seeing it before it's ever finished, believing it before it's ever done, and pulling people into your vision. It's good to have a clear understanding, because then if people are asking questions, you can speak with intelligence and also with confidence. All right, now let's take a look at the other messages the cards have here. First of all, and I've seen this in a few signs, there's a little bit of impatience that's coming through this month for you. We have 10 of Wands in reverse, showing you're overdue for a vacation, a break, a rest. If there's a time or opportunity to do that this month, please allow for that to happen. Also pay attention to your body. If there's any sense of just feeling fatigued, right over top of that we have strength. And also for me, the 10 of Wands has to do with how you are carrying your stress or the load. So if you're a student, take a look at your backpack and make sure that it's appropriate for your body, or that there's not a better way to kind of distribute the weight. If you work in construction, you might be carrying things the wrong way. And in general, there might be something that you're doing either with your posture or with how you're managing or carrying objects or weight with your body that could be improved. So definitely take a look at that and make sure that you're not causing undue stress on your body. All right, now let's take a look at the energy at the very beginning of the week and also the month. Looking at the first week of this month of November, what I really see is a need for you to make sure that anything that you said in a verbal conversation or agreement was accurately recorded in contract or in some sort of written document. So if you were talking to someone, they email you back or they write something down, make sure that what you said or what you heard or what you thought happened is actually recorded accurately. So sometimes spoken and written words are not going to match up this month. It's your job to make sure that everything is as you assumed it would be. So another way of saying this is check assumptions, check sources. Don't simply believe that things are going to be okay just because you wrote it down somewhere. Make sure that people interpret your writing correctly, and make sure that you also interpret either their speech or their writing. Double check. There could be some miscommunications, and this can easily be alleviated just by circling back and saying, I think you said this, is that correct? And give them a chance to clarify. Your crowning card is warning you not to give in to the temptation, as I pull the card next to it, to either start up a fight or to get on the defensive when someone else is attacking you. This card reads temptation, but it's a reinterpretation of the devil card. This, of course, is the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is someone who's very able to take on any responsibility that they need, but the problem sometimes is feeling that you need to either over-explain something when in fact you don't, or unnecessarily getting or taking things personal. So if somebody gives you feedback this month, simply echo it back and say, it sounds like you're frustrated with this, let's try to talk it out, or let me think on it, that's a great point of view, I don't have a solution right now, but I'll come back tomorrow with some thoughts. You can always delay. You don't have to sort of get into a crossfire when someone gives you criticism. And if they continue to persist, like, I want an answer now, we'll say, okay, well, maybe we need to get someone else involved. It sounds like this is a little bit more serious than we thought. You can always make sure that it's not just you, so that they're not backing you into a corner. The other thing that I see when I'm looking at this is the devil card only has power when you feed either into that shadow element, which is sometimes not being truthful, or it's being afraid, or it's feeling trapped. So whatever the devil in your life is sort of bringing through that feeling, you want to try to release it. And that's usually going to happen with a heart-to-heart conversation or some introspective thought in how you got into the situation, and then you start to unravel it. It's not something to be afraid of, and especially with it being in the crowning position, it's presenting itself this month, but it's not controlling everything. In fact, your strongest card, your ego card, is Gaia, the world, and this card is reversed, which is showing that some changes need to happen. And it's a shift from how you've been doing things over the course of the last year. And since we're almost at that gateway month of December and January, this is now your chance to decide, am I where I need to be? For some of you, that question, where are you? Are you happy with where you're at? It has to do with your relationship status, or just life in general. The Four of Cups reversed is feeling like it's okay, but it's not enough. There needs to be something more. It can also be a warning, though, that if you aren't looking around you, that you might be missing an opportunity. So if you're not happy, this is a time to be honest with yourself, with the other person, release that, and then perhaps get into another relationship or get into another work opportunity that better suits you. One thing that you want to be cautious of this month, we have the Sun in reversed, is to remember to think of other people, or if there's another person in your life that's really focused on themselves, to try not to attach to that. So the key thing here is working in a group, thinking of the group, and trying to release ego. And if it's not you, then it's someone in your life that might be overstepping and being a little bit coming on too strong. You want to try to separate yourself from that energy and from that presence. The good thing, though, with these two cards is they're both reversed, but this card is about not seeing everything. This card is reminding you that things are going to work out okay. So Four of Cups and the Sun, look at hidden blessings, look at other opportunities, look at solutions that you may not otherwise see. They're right there and they're ready for you. Your outcome card is Wisdom or Emperor reversed, which is really speaking to not second guessing yourself. your decision-making ability is strong, and your vision for your future, for what you need in your life, is also strong. Don't be talked into things that you don't agree with, and don't feel like you need to sort of file in under a leader that you don't align to. So for some of you, that's really what the World card is about, is needing to either break free from a mentor, a leader, a teacher in your life that may not suit you any longer, that might be pulling you in or helping, or trying to make you go against the grain or against the flow of what feels good to you. So really check in with that internally. And the other thing is, this is just about having, as we're looking at 2018, much more of a vocal and controlling role in your own life, making decisions and not deferring as much to others. But this is the month where that will begin. Let's go ahead and expand the forecast, and we'll start with your health card. And the health is mind, body, and spirit. But for you, what I'm seeing this month is a need for you to break free of environments that you've been in too long. So it's a great month for you to get out into nature, even though the weather's not necessarily cooperative everywhere. At the very least, I want you to break up your environments a little bit. So if you spend all day in an office, I really want you at night to try to get out, go to the gym, try to meditate, try to go wherever you can that's going to just feel like a shift, and also a much more welcoming environment. If you work at home, again, it's important for you to go somewhere else afterwards so that you can decompress. For you, the act of separation from that place of agitation is really what's going to be an important thing for you. That's why vacations can be great anyway. So I really do think that was one of the first messages that I got. It's a great time for you to take a trip, or at the very least, I want you to do a little bit more walking or somehow being outside. I know that it's not necessarily the best time of year for that everywhere, but find a way, if you can, to just spend a few more minutes outside than inside. It's going to help quite a bit. The other thing that's coming through as I look at this card is paying attention to anything that might be going on in your arms or your shoulder this month. A lot of times that has to do with right here. So you might need a massage to kind of like detangle some of these some of the tension that you're holding here, and also the carpal tunnel muscles might need a massage. So take a look and see if you can get a massage here in your upper shoulders, and then also have a good massage therapist work through the carpal tunnel. Some of you might be having some issues with that. And again, separation, limiting yourself to making sure if you're working past 6 hours that you're taking enough breaks and that you're doing something to help out with repetitive injuries will be very good. All right, let's look at your wealth card this month. We have the Four of Coins, which is a foundational card. And this tells me that this month it may not be, and it was reversed, this may not be a month where you're going to see a lot of money coming in. And in fact, I didn't really get a lot of money cards here. So that's showing me two things. One, you might just be building something new, a new business, or you might be paying your dues so that you can eventually get a raise. But it's also about making sure that leaders, people in your life, coworkers, they understand the value that you're bringing to projects, to situations. So you might need to speak up more, you might need to document things a little bit more, and you definitely don't want to sell yourself short. So work on not only building, but also showing and revealing all of the worth that you have, and also feeling that within. And when it comes to relationships, this is a card of protection. And with the Devil card in the top position, the Sun reversed, for some of you, if there is an overpowering person in your life, see if you can get some assistance if you need help in getting out of that, whether it's a work situation or some other toxic relationship. There might be a need to let go of that. Otherwise, it's just about standing up for yourself, taking more control over all situations in your life, and that's also going to positively affect your money. All right, let's now take a look at love. For love, we have this Sacrifice card, which really is speaking to sometimes having to make a difficult decision and understanding that you might have to let go of something that was comfortable so that something new can come in. I do feel that for many of you, this is walking away from, it doesn't have to just be like a lover in your life or a partner in your life. This could be a friendship or a work situation where you originally felt a lot of attachment to it, but you felt some separation happening. So self-sacrifice, it can be beautiful in some levels, but not to the point that it starts to deteriorate your health which I'm seeing some indications here at the center, or that it's weighing too heavily on you mentally, because that eventually will manifest itself in your body as well. So make sure that whatever you're sacrificing in your life, it makes sense, and that you're still having enough time for a life outside of work, if it is a work-life thing, or if it's a relationship, that you're still part of the equation. It should be more about balance than the sacrifice. All right, now let's take a look at your destiny card. And destiny is always something that you have control over. This is just more sort of where you're headed. Your destiny card here does show that love situations are a bit out of sync. So we have what would normally be like the Lover's card here, but here it's Venus and Venus reversed. So I really want you to focus on making sure that when it comes to relationships, you feel like you have an equal seat at the table, that your partner isn't getting more than you, and vice versa, that you're giving enough. So there needs to be more balance in relationships across the board. All right, let's quickly review what we talked about. Your channeled information is that, yes, there's a lot going on, but you're going to be able to manage this. Just remember that attentions to detail, that's really what is most important. It's paramount, in fact. You can't let anything that you agreed to do not happen this month. You really have to make sure that you honor your obligations, and then also that you don't let go of something when it comes to signatures or contracts. You have to be there for final decisions. Your vision is also very, very important on how people interpret and understand and are able to work with you. As I looked at the center, some general health notes. Make sure that if you are someone who lifts or carries weight, that you're doing so in an appropriate way. Your posture may also be affecting your overall spinal health. So I want you to take a look at that this month. But more than the spine, I'm getting that some of you might be having issues in the shoulders, a pinched nerve, or something here that could be affecting the arms or the fingers. So maybe a massage therapist could be helpful there. You did good work in months prior with relationships, but there is some work this month that needs to be done. For some of you, that's getting out of a relationship that no longer suits you, where someone might be overpowering or convincing you to do something you don't want to do. The beginning of the month, I want you to double check on spoken and written communications and agreements to make sure that they're in check. I also want you to avoid being put on the defensive. Try to delay things by a day if you can, and sleep on things, sleep on a decision. Again, big shifts coming for many of you. It could be also a move, a change of address, and the 10 of Wands and the World card directly relate to a move. And so whether you're changing jobs, moving in, moving out, there could be something happening with jobs or relationships that would involve a move or a change of location. Make sure that you're not missing something because you are paying attention to all the little details and missing something big. The Four of Cups really speaks to an opportunity on the horizon, as does the Sun. Don't second guess yourself. You have good intuition, you have good thoughts, and don't get talked into something that you don't believe. When we expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny, with the health, it's important to have separation from where you work and also have a change of environments. If you have to stay in the same place, make sure that maybe you compartmentalize like if you worked from home, one room is for work, one room is for sleeping, one is for eating. Even though we now have a lot of open floor plans, it's important to sort of separate the energies of some of these activities. As for wealth, it's a foundational month, but make sure that you're not losing yourself in the picture. Four of Pentacles can often mean not valuing yourself enough. When it comes to health, wealth, love. When it comes to love, make sure that you're not giving up too much. Make sure that both work and life are in balance. And if you're with someone, that you both are having reciprocity. If it's not there, then it's time to find that, and to know that there are people out there that can see you exactly for who you are and not ask you to change or expect you to give more than they're giving you. So that brings this monthly reading to a close. But before we wrap up, I just want to mention that in December, I'm going to take a month off from doing one-on-one readings. So if you want to schedule time with me, the best way to do that is to book in November or in January. And as for the YouTube readings, I'll be doing a consolidated reading in December, just a single reading for everyone. This is going to give me a chance to focus a little bit of energy on my own personal projects and also just take a break like the rest of us do. So I just wanted to let you guys know in advance so that there'd be no surprises there. If you'd like to keep in touch, the easiest way to do so is to subscribe to this channel. And there's two buttons, one that will opt you into notifications on your homepage of YouTube. The other one, the bell icon, will send you an email anytime I do an update onto the channel. So that's a great option if you just want to know when I post new videos. You can also sign up for my newsletter on my website. That will do the same thing. If you could join me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, I would love for that. It's up to you though, if you're active on those networks. Also, if you'd like to support the channel in a different way, you can give back through either Patreon or there's a donation link on my website. And since this is viewer supported, that would also be great. Finally, I just want to thank everybody for showing up every month and working on themselves. That's really the reason that I'm doing this. We need more light workers. We need more people that are awake, aware, and able to make sound decisions. So keep doing that work on yourself. And if I can play any small part in that, then that brings me a lot of joy. From my heart to yours, I wish you a very happy, healthy November, and that you're able to manage all of these wonderful things that are coming to you. Let it be a month of potential. Focus on the opportunities, and remember that your insight, your own heart is what matters the most this month. Don't let people push you in a direction that you don't want to be pushed, okay? Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.